Hi, hello. My name is Dr.V.Meenakshi. I am head in charge and I am the assistant professor of Commerce CASF. I am working in Standard 5X Rajarathinam College for Women, Svahasi. Today we are going to discuss about the topic of agency services which are rendered by the commercial banks in India. The learning objectives is, first of all, to understand about the agency services which are rendered by the commercial banks which is existing in India. Then to know about the various forms of services which are rendered by the banks. Today we are going to see about what are the agency services rendered by the banks. The first one is payment and collection works, that is the payment and collection of many subscriptions, dividends, salaries and pensions for their customers is carried out by the bank people. Then the purchase and sale of securities. Then the bank is acting as an executor, administrator and a trustee. As well as the banks are now acting as the banks are provided with the power of attorney. Then banks make many payments and receive money on behalf of their customers in the following ways. First of all, they will pay the premium, that is the insurance premium for their customers, and they will pay the membership for subscriptions to clubs, libraries and professional associations. Then they will pay the salaries as well as they will collect rent on behalf of their customers. They can transfer funds from one account to another for their customers. The bankers charge a nominal amount for these services. This services act as an indirect asset that promotes the business of the bank. For this purpose, the banker should get a clear instruction in writing from the customers. The instructions of customers should be clear and unambiguous. For that purpose, the banker has to get standing instructions from the customers. For that purpose, a register is maintaining in the bank. The next one is purchase and sale of securities. The banks undertake to purchase and sell the shares and debentures of joint stock company on behalf of its customers only. Whenever the customers delegate the work, the banker should get a clear and precise instruction in a special form used for this purpose. The form should contain the following particulars, that is the particulars of securities to be bought and sold in the name of customers. Then the minimum and maximum price at which the securities can be bought or sold in the open market. The period within which they are to be sold or purchased has to be mentioned. The name, address of the person in whose names they are to be registered has to be communicated to the bank. In executing the purchase or sale order, the banker acts as an agent for the customers. Only members of the stock exchange can do the function of purchasing and selling of securities. As banks are not the members of stock exchange, they can appoint brokers who can act as an sub-agents of the banks to carry out the bank's instructions. The banker should ensure that sufficient funds are available in the accounts of the customers. Then only they can do the activities of purchasing and selling of securities. Then the banker can be an executor, administrator or trustee for their customers. First of all, the executor, that is who is the executor? A person may make a will expressing his intention regarding the disposal of his property after his death. So that will has to be written, signed by the person who is making the will, and it has to be witnessed by two witnesses. Then the will should be effective only when it is approved by the court. The person appointed by the will to administer the estate of the deceased person is known as executor of the property. Then administrator. Who is administrator? That is, in case a person dies without making a valid will, The property of the person will devolve according to the law which is subject to be. The person claiming the property of the deceased may apply to the court for the administration of the estate. The person in whose favor the court grants a letter of administrator, that is known as administrator. The banker can be appointed as an administrator in some cases. Then trustee. What do you mean by trustee? A trustee means a person may desire that after his death, a part or whole of his estate can be held in a trust for the benefit of certain beneficiaries who are named in the will. In such a case, he may create a trust under his will, creating certain person to hold a property of trust and hand over the income from the property to such persons after a specified time or upon the cases maybe. The person who holds the property for the beneficiaries is known as trustee. The banker can be an executor, administrator or a trustee because he is better fitted to do these services, because banks being a corporate body has a continuous existence. The banks have staff with specialized knowledge. They can manage the trust or property in a better way. The management of the trust or property is economical as the overhead charges are spread over a number of trusts. The banks act honestly and promptly, which may not be executed from an individual trustee. The affairs relating to the estate are kept confidential. Then the banker can be provided with an power of attorney by its customers. Then what do you mean by power of attorney? We have to see. The power of attorney may be given by a customer to its banker. That is, the legal effect of acting under a power of attorney is as valid as if the customer had done it himself. By granting the power of attorney, the customer authorizes the banker to receive dividend and interest on securities belonging to him and give a valid discharge therefor. The banker may also be empowered to sign the transfer forms in respect of purchase and sale of stock exchange securities and government securities in the stock exchange or in any other private markets. So these are all the services which are rendered by the banks other than their normal traditional activities. Thank you for seeing this video. I think you will have a better knowledge about this agency services which are rendered by the bank. Thank you for watching. We can see in another slide. Thank you.